Hello, and welcome to All the Alleged Details, a white collar recap podcast where we analyze each episode and go over all the little details that matter.
Mostly to us.
I'm August.
And I'm Rainy.
And today we're going to talk about Flip of the Coin.
Yay, flip of the coin.
Okay, I remember how to make a podcast this time, Rainy. I have to let you do the summary before I start talking.
Okay, I'll do that. So, Peter's brought a case by Elizabeth, of all people. She has a friend whose husband recently returned from Iraq and is currently under investigation for stolen Iraqi gold. It turns out he's being framed for it by a man from the State Department, Patrick Ames, as well as a reporter named Alicia Teagan. In Alicia's office, they find a pawn shop receipt that leads to one of the stolen gold coins, which proves her involvement in the case. They use it to get her to agree to help them catch Ames. They take Ames down, and the husband and wife are reunited thanks to Peter and Elle and Neal. Yay.
Oh my god, that makes me laugh. It shouldn't, but I really enjoyed tacking Neal in on that.
It's very cute. The power of love and marriage and Neal.
And Neal.
Do you want me to start us off?
Yeah, you can start us off.
This is one of my favorite openings because Peter asks Neal to go and get a file, and Neal is just like, you want me to do it? We have clerks for that. And Peter says, I got something better. I got you. And I love it. I love it. I love it because they call back to it over a full season later in my personal favorite episode of all of White Collar, Power Play. And it makes me very happy.
That's fair. It's really good. I like their interaction there, but I think it's really interesting that it kind of calls back to the pilot episode where Peter's like, I own you for the next 4 years.
Ooh,
where
yeah.
It's very much making Neal his personal assistant almost. And so I think it's really interesting because I like might not be the best word. It's just interesting because it kind of draws attention to their power dynamic a little bit and the power imbalance between them.
Yes.
Where Peter's like, no, I get to use you this way.
He calls attention to that very few times, but the few times it does, it really sticks out.
Yeah.
So Neal goes and he goes to look for the file.
Yeah.
And I think he's very cute because he's literally just standing there poking at the shelves, just
he's pouting full on.
So pouting. He's just poking at them and making random noises until Lauren comes along.
Yeah. It's an interesting scene when Lauren comes down because if you watch the extended pilot, especially in a run of these episodes back to back, you will notice that Lauren uses dialogue that Diana used in the extended pilot.
Does she?
Yeah. The list of crimes Neal's committed.
Oh, yes. Yes, she did. She did say you are implicated in a dozen other frauds, forgeries, and confidence schemes, I think is what she says.
Yeah. And I think there's another chunk, too.
And sending the champagne to the surveillance van. That, too. Diana mentions that, too.
Yeah, that's it.
I also really love that detail about the champagne, and I want to know that story so badly.
It's a cute little banter scene between Neal and Lauren. It kind of feels like it should have happened 2 episodes ago, but whatever.
Yeah.
It was written in the pilot, to be fair.
Yeah, to be fair. I think it's cute how they kind of set it up where Lauren is telling Neal that he was part of her thesis, and it seems like she's excited to be working with Neal because he's Neal, and then very quickly she flips the tables on him and she's like, no honey, I was excited to work for Peter.
Yeah, that's fair. And it feels very much like she was fully building Neal up just to knock him down.
Yes, absolutely. It's fun. And then he looks so hurt, but not actually hurt, but just you can tell the wind is knocked out of his sails, and he's like, okay, whatever. So the next thing we see is Jones very quickly running into Peter's office and telling him that he has a problem.
Yep. It's one of the peaks of the mountain of what's kind of scummy Jones in season 1, in the way that Jones is running up to tell Peter that there's 2 women that are mad at him, his wife and Dana.
Yes. And he fully thinks that Dana is Peter's secret girlfriend.
Yeah. he fully comes up to Peter and he's like, "Oh, I have a buddy that has 2 cell phones to avoid this kind of situation."
Yeah.
And that line grosses me out.
No thanks.
Don't like it. Not my man. This is not my Jones.
No. And it's so funny because the second that Elle walks up and tells Peter that they need to talk, Peter's just like, "Okay, thanks, Jones. That'll be all." As if they were talking about a case. Jones very quickly runs away. He's like, "Bye."
And also, I don't know. It's one of those things where you can't read into it too much. But Elizabeth must have seen Jones, see her come in, and fly up the stairs to Peter, talk to him, like, whispering at his door, and then, like, scurry away.
That's true.
And given the rest of Jones's reputation in the show, I'm sure she didn't think of anything about it, because it's a very weird Jones moment in the rest of the show.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things where you think about it too hard. You're like, well, hold on.
Even if she did, because she is very smart and she probably would have clocked that, she probably is like, "Oh, he thinks that this is what's happening." And she just dismissed it.
Right.
Because she's Ellen. She's great like that. So Elizabeth tells Peter that she's brought her friend Dana because there's a warrant out for Dana's husband's arrest. Dana's husband's name is John. Yeah. And Peter calls him Hot Wings Guy.
Yeah. I love that moment of association to Peter. Because Elle's like, "This is who it is." And Peter's like, "Who?" And I think Elle says, like, "Oh, we went to their barbecue once." And Peter goes like, "Oh, Hot Wings Guy."
Hot Wings Guy.
Like, Peter.
Elizabeth is just baffled. My note literally says, "Peter, please read the room."
But he was so excited to remember who John was and all.
He was.
He was just proud to have gotten that far.
He was really proud of himself. He's like, "I remembered a thing."
Right.
I think it's really cute how as soon as Elizabeth says that there's a warrant out for John's arrest, he immediately jumps into agent mode and just like sits down at his computer. He's like, "Okay, what's his name? Let me look him up. Let me see what's going on." I love it.
They do this thing where Neal finally comes back from the archives with his stuff.
Yes.
And they drag him in on discussing whether or not John is innocent.
Yes.
Because there's not a whole lot of evidence other than the fact that... Oh, wait, there is evidence. I'm wrong.
His fingerprints were found on the gold, and there was DNA hair evidence as well.
Yep. But Elizabeth is arguing that despite the evidence, he could still be innocent, and he's proclaiming his innocence.
Yes. And both of them are asking, like, they make Neal, like, bursts into the room, and then he's like, "I'm gonna just go," and both of them are like, "Nope, sit down, you're part of this now."
Right.
And Neal tries to be, like, diplomatic as long as he can until Peter gives him this very specific look. Immediately, he's like, "Yeah, you should have John turn himself in."
Right. It's definitely interesting to pit Neal in the middle of the debate, almost, of how guilty do you have to be guilty, essentially?
Yes.
Or it's like, how many cards have to be stacked against you before you admit guilt?
Yes.
Even if you are innocent? Almost?
Yeah, almost like that.
Because that's what's happening here, is John has to turn himself in, which is confessing to some level of guilt, quote unquote. He has to play the part of being the guilty party in the pursuit of justice.
Yeah.
And so it's interesting to have Neal be the one who has to figure out where that line crosses from, yeah, you can keep fighting this on the run, to, no, you should turn this in and let, like, the police handle this.
Yeah. Let Peter do his job and prove your innocence. Just, like, wait it out in jail where you're supposed to be because there's a warrant out.
Right.
It's an interesting line. And I like that they make Neal... I don't know. They make Neal talk about it, think about it, figure it out.
Right. But they get Peter to agree to having John turn himself into Peter.
Yes.
They meet up with John outside somewhere. Assuming that's outside the office.
Yeah, I think it's like he pulls up in a cab, like right outside the office.
Yeah. And it's really interesting because he immediately is spilling the tea.
Yes.
On Ames.
He's like, my lawyer told me not to tell you this, but...
He's like, I know who did it. This is where he works. This is his name. It was that man.
Yep. Immediately.
This episode is... Oh, God. How do I want to phrase it? Because there's not a lot of mystery to it. It's just like unraveling what you already know.
Yeah. And like proving it.
Yeah. Which is always fun. It's always fun to figure out it's like, we know who did it. How did they do it?
Yeah.
Rather than we know how it was done. Now we just have to figure out who.
Yeah.
It's a fun little inverse.
It is. The scene where Peter is cuffing John.
Yeah.
There's two things that stick out to me. And I know that you know what one of them is. I know. I can hear it in your voice.
I know what one of them is.
Neal very pointedly looks at Peter putting those cuffs on, and I just find that very interesting. And I know why he's looking. He's looking for like the splash blisters that he talks about in a few scenes later. But
yeah,
it's interesting the way that he looks. Anyway, the other thing that didn't really hit me until this time is just how much every single person in this situation is putting their trust in Peter right now.
Right.
Elizabeth is putting her trust in Peter to solve this case. Dana is putting her trust in Peter. John is putting his trust in Peter. And even Neal, to an extent, is trusting Peter to like actually look into this and figure it out and prove that John is innocent.
Yeah.
Peter can feel the weight of it because he even says to Neal, boy, do I feel guilty.
Yeah. He very specifically says, God, do I feel guilty, which I think is very impactful from Peter hearing about his lapsedness.
That's fair.
I just wanted to point out.
His lapsedness.
But it's fair, yeah. Everybody's trusting Peter to not only protect and serve, but go above and beyond, essentially.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know what the FBI code is.
It's not protect and serve.
It's not protect and serve. That's kind of his role, though.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah, it is. Definitely Peter's role. So they're back inside the office, and Neal is explaining why he was eyeing the handcuffs like he was.
He wasn't eyeing the handcuffs. He was eyeing John's wrist.
Okay. He explains himself. Neal says that the whole reason that he was looking for splash blisters, right? Because he says that you can't melt on gold without getting splash blisters, which apparently like some of these gold artifacts were melted down. I don't know how they know that only some of them were. It's not clear. But I have a big issue with this piece of information because are you really telling me that heat-proof gloves don't exist? They don't have protective equipment that's specialized for working with molten metal?
Right.
Really?
Everybody's melting gold with their forearms exposed.
Yes, with their bare hands so that they can get the splash blisters that look extremely painful.
And you also can't melt gold at like a slow enough rate where it doesn't boil.
No, you gotta boil that shit. I mean, gold is a soft metal. It has a low melting point. I don't think you have to make it that hot.
You don't need to boil it, is what you're saying?
Yeah, you super don't need to boil it.
Like, I like it as a way to catch the guy who did do it, the splash burns. But it is one of those things where if you stop and think about it, you're like, wait, what?
Yeah, it like every single time I'm like, why didn't he just wear gloves? Why didn't you wear gloves, Neal? You're smarter than that.
Right. I
also just feel the need to point out that Neal is wearing another vest. And it's important to me.
Okay. Fuck, I meant to count the fruit bowls in the episode.
There's at least one because I saw it in the break room.
There's at least one. Wait, what?
I saw it in the break room.
Oh shit, then there's at least two because I saw another one.
The fruit bowls.
I keep trying to remember to count the fruit bowls and I keep forgetting. And I wholly had the thought today and I forgot again. Soon, next episode, I will count the fruit bowls.
I keep trying to notice the fruit bowls and the rubber band ball. I mean, I need to do better about that.
That's fair. I don't think there's any rubber band ball in this episode, but there was at least two fruit bowls.
And a vest.
Okay. The rate of vest definitely goes down.
It does, which is why I have to point it out, because I like when he wears a vest, and it's not very often.
There's a quick scene where Peter goes to talk with Ames and his henchmen, essentially.
His henchmen.
I guess his bodyguard, but I think henchmen works better.
I agree.
And it's just a scene where Ames blows him off, essentially, and he's like, yeah, call my office.
Yeah.
But Peter tries to, like, approach him to talk to him more, and the bodyguard holds up his hand, and the man's arm is covered in blisters and burns.
Yep.
And you're like, oop, he did do it.
He sure did.
And so we know the criminals, and it's been, like, 5 minutes into the episode.
Yeah. And very quickly, we're like, all right, it was him.
As this man is his henchman.
So Peter has all the evidence moved to the office, and Lauren and Jones are looking it over, and Neal comes in and just starts touching everything.
No gloves.
No gloves.
Touching everything.
Yeah, Lauren basically has a panic attack about it. She's like, can you stop? And Neal's like, I'm just looking for evidence. I love her line because she says, you're looking for your next jail sentence. Oh my God.
I love Lauren. I do.
She's really fun.
Her lines are so good.
They are. She's so, like, snarky and snappy.
Yeah. And Natalie just delivers them so perfectly exasperated.
She does.
I can hear that, oh my God, in my head.
Yes.
I love that scene, though, because it's both an example of just how smart Neal is, but it's a perfect example of Peter knowing how smart Neal is.
Why?
Because, not the touching thing. After Neal puts his gloves on, Peter goes, like, do you see anything suspicious about this evidence?
Yes.
And there's a good couple seconds pass before Neal's like, oh, it's all the really clean fingerprints is all on this stuff. And Peter just goes, what else? They just continue waiting.
Yes.
For Neal to figure out what's wrong with this evidence.
Yes. Like, Peter has noticed, and he's waiting for Neal to pick it up.
I think it's cool that Peter knows that Neal is going to know what's happening. What's wrong.
He knows that Neal is smart enough to notice and piece it together and be like, interesting. And so he realizes that all of the prints are only left-handed. All of them.
Yeah.
There are no right-hand prints, which is really interesting.
Which is really interesting. It's very suspicious.
Very suspicious. As Peter says, it's impossible. And he looks very cute when he says that it's impossible.
Yeah, because he's so excited that Neal figured it out, that it's wrong.
Yes.
But they don't know why all the fingerprints are left-handed. So that's our first mystery to solve, which they do in the very next scene.
They do, because naturally, to figure it out, they go and have lunch together.
No. I knew that's what you were going to say. I was very excited.
You were excited to tell me no. August gets excited to correct Rainey, the podcast.
I just realized that this episode. I just realized this in this rewatch.
Is it not lunch? Is it dinner?
They go and get dinner because Neal's like, shouldn't you be getting home to Elizabeth?
He does say that. He does. They go and get dinner.
So they go and get dinner together because Peter doesn't want to go home. I was very excited to connect this dot today.
I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
I have to point it out again, and I know I did the last time we recorded this, and I know I know you know what I'm gonna say. I know I just talked about his vest, but this is my favorite of Neal's ties. It's green and it's checkered, and I like it.
Okay.
Hi, this is Rainey's Neal wardrobe segment.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, you went off about his shoes and the pilot, so...
Did I? I do not remember that.
Yeah, the soles of his shoes.
Oh, yeah, but that's because I like the extra attention to detail that they wore out the bottom of them.
That's fair. You have a valid reason, and I'm just like, I like it.
We did point out how fucking ugly one of Peter's ties are.
We did.
I will give you complimenting Neal's outfit. Because I will continue talking about Peter's ugly ties.
But the tie was part of the plot when we talked about that. Anyway.
Cute scene. They figure out that the fingerprints are all left-handed because they come from a glass, or that John went drinking with somebody. So that they only pick up the thing that he was drinking out of with one hand. A beer bottle, a glass, something like that.
Neal notices because the whole time that they're out to dinner, Peter only picks up his beer bottle with his right hand.
Yeah.
And Neal just has this light bulb moment. He's like, you've only touched that glass with your right hand. So
yeah,
maybe John went out for drinks with someone.
Yep.
So Peter goes home to talk to Dana.
Because she's staying with the Burkes.
Yes, she's staying with them. Elizabeth and Dana are like sitting at the table drinking wine in their pajamas. It's really cute.
Yeah.
And Peter comes up and okay, I think we both have a gripe with this scene.
Yeah.
Because Peter comes up and he talks to Dana and he's really like gentle in the way that he does it. He's like, there's good news and bad news. Here's the latest update. Not a whole lot has changed, but I need to ask you, has he gone out for drinks with someone? And Dana just starts crying.
Right.
And Elizabeth gets mad at him like he did something wrong.
Yep, I have in my notes both that Peter is lacking a little bit of emotional intelligence, but also I don't think Peter's wrong here. A lot of these are relevant questions to be asking.
They're very relevant questions to be asking.
I understand that Dana's sensitive to both the line of questioning that John might have been cheating on her and the stress of the fact that John's arrested for what could be in relation to him cheating on her in this moment.
Yeah.
But it's like, this man is trying to help him. And he literally came up to you and was like, there might be evidence that John's being framed. I need to know, did he go to drinks with somebody?
Yeah. And Peter doesn't even phrase it like he thinks he's been cheating. He just asks if he went out for drinks with anybody.
Right.
Like, could have been a friend. It could have been a woman. He doesn't care. He doesn't make any indication one way or the other.
Yeah. And he only jumps to the thought that John was cheating on her because the fact that Dana starts crying.
Yes.
Because Elizabeth pulls him away and they like start bickering a little bit. And Peter like leads himself to the conclusion that was like, oh, does she think John was cheating? And then Elizabeth's like, well, now I'm not going to let you go talk to her. And I'm like, okay. Obviously not now. Don't let Peter ask the questions. But this whole conversation could have been done.
Yeah.
If she would have been like, oh yeah, he met up with a woman and she stole his hat.
Right. Elizabeth sends Peter upstairs because she's mad at him.
Yeah.
And goes and talks with Dana. And then Dana tells Elizabeth all of the things that she should have told Peter. Like, yeah, he went out for drinks. There was this reporter. She wanted to do a story on him. So she asked him out for drinks. And then his hat went missing. Like, all of that is extremely relevant to the case.
Yeah.
And she should have told that to the person investigating the case.
Yeah. It's a lot of fluff in the middle of that scene of sending Peter upstairs and stuff that could have been cut by her just telling both Peter and Elizabeth this information.
Yeah. But no, they had to give us that little moment of Peter being not the most emotionally intelligent and then Elizabeth being very upset about it.
Yeah. It's very much pushing a narrative.
It is.
About Peter. But
Yes.
I was like, I think, because Elizabeth's like, oh, sometimes Peter forgets he's an FBI agent. And I'm like, that's what he's doing right now. That's what she wants him to be doing.
He's doing his job.
He's doing the job that you asked him for help with.
Yes.
You came to Elizabeth to get Peter's help.
Yes.
He's asking you questions. He's providing the help.
Yes.
And it turns out that information was critical to know.
Yes. Because the hat being stolen explains how his DNA was taken, like how the hair was planted.
Yeah.
And it leads them to Alicia.
Yeah, it sends them to Alicia. That's all what happens next is they go to talk to Alicia about all of this.
They do.
All based off the information that Dana gave them.
Yes.
There's a really cute scene of Neal and Peter brainstorming together, covering over the information about the missing hat and who Alicia is and da-da-da-da-da. And then they go to the media company. I don't know what you call it.
I think it's the news station, isn't it?
Yeah, news station. Thank you.
Yeah.
There's a funny moment. Oh, I forget exactly what happens. But Neal sits down and Peter goes to talk to the security guard.
Yes.
And Peter, looks back to get Neal, but Neal's flirting with somebody.
Yes.
And so Peter just leaves.
He just leaves.
I think that scene's really good, because both I think it's funny that Peter would just leave Neal because he's distracted, but it's actually not what Peter's really doing. He goes upstairs and then immediately calls Neal and is like, actually, I have a plan since you're down there.
Yeah. And Neal is so offended. He's like, you left me downstairs. And Peter says, you looked busy.
Yeah. But I love how fast Peter saw Neal was distracted and saw an opportunity in it.
Yes. It's one of those moments that shows how brilliant Peter is.
Yes. Because his plan is that when Alicia gets there, the security guard is going to tell her that there's an FBI agent, and Neal's supposed to capture what her reaction is to knowing there's an FBI agent there to investigate her.
Yeah.
And that's such a smart plan.
It really is, because how she reacts to that information can give so much away. And it really does, because Alicia is not good. She's not a good journalist.
She's not subtle. She's not good under stress.
She's not. Like, she's a journalist. Come on.
Yeah.
So Neal watches, and, she gets rattled. She looks around, and is obviously shaken. And Neal gets this brilliant idea. And very quickly, all of a sudden, comes back with 8 coffees and a bag of pastries.
He got 8 coffees at lightning speed.
I'm like, how did he get them so fast? How?
So fast.
He gets them faster than someone can get 1 coffee.
Literally. And he gets all these coffees so that he can get past the security guard.
Yes.
But the scene bothers me a little bit. Because the security guard is saying hello to everybody by name.
Yes, because they're all like, hey, Phil. And he's like, hey, so-and-so. Hey, person.
Right? It's not just that the people coming in know Phil. Phil also knows everybody coming in.
Yes.
If somebody just walked up to you that you had never been seen before and they were like, hey, Rainey, you would be like, hold on.
Actually,
I don't know you.
Actually, I would probably be like, you clearly know me, and I'm terrible with names and faces and remembering anything at all, so I'm clearly wrong in this situation.
But you are also not a security guard.
I'm not a security guard, clearly with, good reason.
This is this man's job, is to know these people coming in. But I wrote down in my notes that Neal wins because of the gay agenda.
Because he won't reach in his pocket.
Yeah, because Neal's pretending that his security card is in his pocket. And his hands are too full to get it out. And so he's trying to get Phil to reach into his back pocket for him. And Phil's too uncomfortable to do that.
To be fair, he'd probably also be uncomfortable if it was a woman.
Right. Well, maybe not.
Oh my god.
So that's my note, is that Neal wins because of the gay agenda.
I like it.
I have near immediately after that Neal winning because of the straight agenda.
Well, damn, Neal.
Because after he gets past security guard Phil, he gets into where they actually film and stuff.
Yes.
And he starts being approached by a different security guard or a PA or somebody. Then one of the news anchors, I assume, calls out to Neal because she's like, hey, I haven't seen you around here before.
Yeah, just starts hitting on him.
So she just saw this attractive man and immediately called out to him, which gives Neal the perfect excuse to walk away from this person who is actively approaching him to question him.
Yes.
And so that's Neal winning from the straight agenda. It's this woman just randomly was like, hot guy, I have to talk to him.
Gay, straight, Neal wins all around.
Literally. But also the scene is crazy.
It is crazy.
Because Neal's like, ooh, I'm the new sports anchor.
Feet away from the literal sports anchor.
What are you talking about?
Feet away from the literal sports anchor.
Yeah, nobody questions this. Like, whoever that security guard was, PA, none of the, producers there's, so many people on this set. Not one person isn't like, no, we're not getting a news broadcaster, a news sports man. They all just are like, oh, okay.
He's just so confident about it. Nobody wants to question it because nobody wants to feel like they weren't in the know.
I guess I could understand the social pressure. But everybody, nobody's asking enough questions. Everybody's just way too easygoing about it.
Yeah, they just go with it. They're just like, oh man, well that sucks for Gary.
No, he's Gary. Oh,
that's right. Sucks for Leonard? Was that his name? I don't know. He's not important.
Sucks for not Gary, who also, this poor man that Neal's saying lost his job. In 10 minutes, it's going to have to, do his job.
Yeah.
That he did not lose.
That he did not lose. And for the rest of probably the week, everybody's going to be like, oh, I thought you were fired.
Yeah. It's what, like, that moment had to have ripple effects.
It had to.
People wouldn't have just let that go. And also, okay, I'm going to put a pin in this because I have to bring it back up later when Neal goes again to the studio.
Okay. Oh, yes. So Peter takes Alicia into this. Well, he meets up with Alicia and she's like tries to blow him off, and he's like, "No, I'm gonna ask you a few questions right now." And Neal takes the opportunity because they're in this like weird circular conference room that has these glass walls. So Peter just happens to be able to clearly see Alicia's desk.
Yeah.
And sees that like Neal sees that Alicia locked something in there? He does.
Yeah. When she first went upstairs.
Yes.
In the time that it took her to get to her desk, that for him to get 8 coffees, a bag of pastries, and also get upstairs, she had just sat down at her desk and locked something in a drawer.
Yes, and Neal witnessed it.
Alicia was moving very slowly.
Apparently. So Peter questions Alicia while Neal breaks into her desk. This is obviously a huge news station.
Yeah.
And Alicia is supposed to be like a decent reporter.
Right.
Why does she have a teeny tiny desk with no privacy out in the middle of the open? Like not even a cubicle. It's the world's smallest desk.
Right.
I feel a little bad for her.
Yeah, that's fair. She's definitely got like an intern's desk.
She really does. But Neal very slyly breaks into her desk and finds what she hid in there and goes and makes a photocopy of it, all while Peter is questioning her.
Yeah.
And Peter can see Neal doing all of this and is very clearly not happy with whatever Neal is doing.
He's also like trying so hard to keep an eye on Neal while not letting Alicia see Neal.
Yes.
And so he's like at one point standing at like a 90-degree angle.
Yes.
Because he's like tilted so far sideways watching what Neal does.
It's so strange. She's got to be like, this is the weirdest interview.
Yeah.
What is wrong with this FBI agent?
But Neal gets the photocopy. Peter finishes up with Alicia.
Yes.
Is there anything else that happens? They just go outside.
There's one line that I really like right before Peter. That's my next line. But right before Peter and Alicia like walk away, Peter like gives her his card and he says, "When you think of something else." And she's like pauses and she's like, "If I think of something else." I love that Peter said when because he knew. He's smart.
He's so smart. So Peter and Neal go outside and Neal shows what he got from her desk.
Yes.
And Peter's like, "This is actually illegal."
Yes. We didn't have a warrant. You obtained this illegally. He's like, "I didn't see this. You didn't see it." He like crumples up the photocopy. And Peter's just like, or Neal's just like, "But I did see it."
Right. He like crumbles it up and then hands it back to Neal, which is his mistake.
No.
No, doesn't Neal unfold it?
Nope.
Calls Mozzie?
Peter crumples it up and throws it away. And Neal pulls a second photocopy out of his shirt because he knew. He was smart enough to make 2 copies because he knew that Peter would do that.
That's so funny.
I love it. And then it just immediately calls Mozzie and tells him to go and check out this pawn shop ticket that he found.
Yeah. The next scene is Peter going back home.
Yes.
And the scene is another one that makes me mad just a little bit. It annoys me.
Yes.
Because Elizabeth and Dana are watching a movie on the living room couch. And Peter like comes in the door and points that he's going to go upstairs. But Elizabeth stops him and takes him outside.
Yes.
And it's like, actually, can you leave?
Yeah. She makes him leave. She's like, "No, don't go upstairs. Just get out of the house. You can't be here."
And I'm like, why? Let the man he wants to go to bed. He wants to be in his home.
Like, he was totally fine going straight upstairs, being super quiet, letting them have whatever time.
Right.
And Elizabeth's like, "Can you go?"
Can you leave, actually? I don't get it.
I don't
It's like
either.
he's just as non-disruptive upstairs because he's fully trying to avoid Dana anyway. He doesn't want to be around.
Yeah, and he was being so quiet. Like, she didn't even notice that he came home.
Yeah, she's like on the floor petting Sachimo. He was like already on his way upstairs.
Yeah.
Let Peter be home.
Well, the writers just needed a reason for Peter to go hang out with Neal.
Yep, they send him to Neal's.
Because that's what happens next. But before Peter shows up, I actually want to point out, Neal is sitting on his bed looking at this book of maps of New York City to try to, like, figure out what map is on this wine bottle that Kate left him. And I have two things to say.
Okay.
First, why does it take Neal to see a literal treasure map with an X on it to realize that maybe X is marking the spot on this Bordeaux bottle?
Right.
Why does it take him that long? Especially knowing that Kate loves the classics and, like, knowing that that's their whole thing. I feel like he should have clocked that immediately.
Right.
Also, why does this book of maps of New York City have a treasure map in it?
What a weird book.
It is a weird book. I'm very curious about this book.
The book of very plot convenient maps. It's another one of those things where it definitely feels like a riddle that Neal should have been able to figure out.
Yes.
The show kind of has to spoon feed the audience the riddle.
Yeah. Like, hold our hand and walk us along.
Right. Even though I think it would be just as valid for it to be like, I've been looking at the bottle and I realized that the X on the Bordeaux bottle, well, Kate loves the classic, so the X probably marks the spot.
Yeah.
He didn't need to have it spelled out for him.
He really didn't. He is far too smart for that. But he calls Mozzie to come over, and then, like, immediately after there's a knock at the door, and he's like, oh, wow, that was really fast. And no, it's Peter. It's not Mozzie.
Yep.
And Peter brought beer. It's very cute.
Beer and wine.
Yes.
I love that Peter brings Neal wine.
Yes. Yes.
He tries to blow it off as like, well, we've had such good times brainstorming together. I thought we could do it again, essentially.
Yeah. He says the last time we had a drink together, we had a breakthrough. Because when they were at dinner together, they had the breakthrough about the bottle of beer.
Yeah, okay. But that's when Mozzie comes around. Finally, Peter and Mozzie get to meet.
Yes, and this scene is so painfully weird. If you watch the extended pilot, it's so weird because you're like, Peter, why are you acting like you don't know this man that you definitely have met before?
Right.
Like, honestly, to me, the last few times, like, Threads and Book of Hours did not seem all that weird to me, the way that Neal was talking about Mozzie. But this scene specifically, I was like, Peter, you've met him. What's happening?
Yeah. Neal tries to, like, pretend that Mozzie isn't who he says he is. He tries to pretend like he's dating June.
Yes.
And Mozzie's like, she likes a little cream in her coffee.
Peter's just like, do you really want to keep this up? And Neal's just like, no, please make it stop.
Mozzie's just digging himself into this hole, and he's like, please let me out.
Please.
There's also a really funny line where Peter goes, I thought you'd be taller.
Mozzie says, me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
It's so good.
Oh no, he says, so did I.
Yeah.
Thought you'd be taller, so did I.
Peter is also like, come in and have a drink or whatever, and Mozzie tries to be like, oh, I don't drink. And Peter's like, well, tonight you do. And then it cuts to, like, the three of them talking, and Mozzie's so clearly drunk.
Yes. Clearly drunk.
I also think, Peter gets something stronger than wine, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah. Mozzie says gin is good.
Oh, yeah. So, Mozzie's going hard.
He is.
If he's going to have to interact with the feds, he's going to go hard.
Yes. So then they start making fun of Neal.
Yeah.
And I don't like it.
That's fair. They're making fun of Neal about Kate.
They are. And obviously it's still a very, like, raw, fresh wound for Neal. And they're just, like, poking fun at how she ditched him and left him an empty wine bottle. And Neal is just like, I'm right here.
Yeah. And it's clear that neither Mozzie or Peter like Kate very much.
Yeah.
But it's a little disrespectful to be dissing on her here.
It is.
It's not even necessarily that they're dissing on her. they're dissing on Neal's love for her.
Yes.
And I think that's what's so hurtful about it.
Yeah.
There is a good moment where, I guess because they're just having a good time, and Peter, like, leans back in his seat, and he's like, is this why you guys do it? And he's just, like, admiring the view from the apartment, and they're drinking good wine or whatever, alcohol, and just having a good time together.
Yes.
And I like that it's, I think, really the only moment Peter has of kind of appreciating the life that Neal comes from.
Yeah.
Where he's being very understanding of, like, how nice this lavishness is.
Yes.
As he's looking at this view of Manhattan.
Yeah. And, like, trying to understand, like, why they do what they do and not being judgy about it.
Right.
Which is a very rare moment for Peter.
And Mozzie's like, well, it's not about that. It's about doing what we want to do. I like the season 1 perspective of that they just want to be free, essentially. They don't want to be tied down by even the government.
Yes.
Even by laws. They just want to do what they want to do. And, like, I think what Mozzie's saying is very understandable.
It is.
But there is a cute little moment of Neal being like, Mozzie, you live in a storage unit.
Yes.
Mozzie goes, yeah, man, but I lived there. I live. And Peter and Neal share this cute little smile between them, just laughing over how Mozzie is.
Right. It's cute. I like Neal's, like, position in this scene because you can tell, like, Mozzie starts going off and he's, like, telling him not to.
Yeah.
And looks at Peter, like, very concerned, thinking that he's going to judge them, I think. And then just seeing, like, him listening and understanding and, like, both sides of his world just meeting like this, I think is, like, I don't know, it kind of feels like a big moment for Neal.
Yeah.
And then for them to just, like, share that look and laugh about Mozzie together, it's cute. It's very soft.
It is very soft. I do think Neal starts to worry about Peter's interest in their lives here. Because Peter pulls the coin out and kind of starts ranting about how he can't even use it, about how he's not supposed to have it or anything.
Yes.
He's being kind of bitter that he can't do anything.
Yeah.
And Neal goes, Peter, give me the coin.
Yes. Very seriously.
Very seriously. Like, in a tone that makes it sound like Neal thinks Peter is considering doing something wrong.
Yes. I like his line of, I'm holding damning evidence in my hand and I can't do a damn thing with it.
Yeah. And so I just think it's interesting that Neal I feel like he considers for a moment that Peter's considering doing something unlawful. Mm-hmm. And that Neal reacts kind of...
Strongly?
Yeah, strongly. He reacts strongly to that.
He does. Yeah. We did not mention that Mozzie's the one who got the coin and, like, found it.
Oh, yeah. Because, I don't know if we said it, but the papers that Neal copied were receipts from a pawn shop. And so, Mozzie went and got it from the pawn shop.
Yes. Which, honestly, if you have stolen gold to sell, why would you take it to a pawn shop?
Right.
Isn't that, like, the first place that police check for stolen goods?
Honestly, could be. This next scene, though, Rady, does make me mad.
Okay. Go off about it, please.
Because they take the coin, Neal takes it, and he goes back to the news studio and pretends like he's got a scoop for Alicia to interview him on.
Yes.
And there's so many things that don't make sense. Because I'm like, one, Neal just walks straight back in after pretending to be the news sports anchor.
And nobody questions it.
Nobody notices, nobody questions. Anyway. 2, I feel like Alicia, at her high rank, should just be available to record the same day a man with no proof or, like, backstory or anything. She just like, it's okay. Like, okay, let's record him. Let's get the camera set up.
Yeah, sure. I've got an hour to kill. Why not?
Right? An hour free of her very busy schedule. And none of the producers or the film crew had other responsibilities that day, I guess. It was very, very slow news day in the news studio, apparently, because Neal was just able to walk straight in.
Yep.
But also, he's not supposed to have the coin.
He's not.
And he's on camera now, showing that he had it and used it to get her to confess. Oh, does she never see him interacting with Peter in a way that showed that, which obviously she does, because she saw Neal work in the undercover operation that's about to happen.
Yeah. Maybe she's just too stupid to, like, put it together and say that she was coerced into a confession.
I'm like, this feels like a setup, and it's on camera.
Yeah, that's so true.
That Neal's holding this illegally confiscated evidence and using it against her on camera.
But the thing is, Peter can't have that evidence. But Neal could have potentially just walked into that pawn shop and happened to see the coin. There's no proof that he didn't do that.
And knew that it was Alicia's, that it knew that it was related to the John Mitchell case.
Well, he knew that they were looking for Iraqi gold. It's very circumstantial. It's very questionable. It's questionable.
I need to know how this trial went down.
My gripe with this scene is that the interview is so weird. Like, initially Neal is acting like he's like some nervous fan until the second that he like sits down in the chair, and then the energy immediately shifts.
Right.
And it turns so weird. And I'm like, nobody in this room thinks that this interview is weird as fuck.
Right. It makes sense plot-wise. But I can't get over how weird the scene is.
It's really weird.
I'm like, none of this should hold up.
None of it should. Obviously, she's too rattled to think clearly, because the very next scene, she's in Peter's office asking for immunity. Like, immediately.
Yeah. She's also confessing to everything and agreeing to help Peter catch Ames and all that. But Peter shows her that he has the coin. And she acts like she's surprised that he has it.
Does she?
She, maybe not. I feel like she does, but I also don't have the episode in front of me.
Well, here we go again. Okay. She doesn't look surprised, per se. But she does look like, oh, shit, he's got the coin. My next note just says, for a journalist, Alicia is not smart.
Yeah, she needs her lawyer. Where's her lawyer?
Yes. She's not a good journalist in general, I think. She's not very smart.
Yeah, that's so fair. And so they get Alicia to agree to help them with an undercover op.
They do.
And they set Neal up to be like a wealthy buyer, and he's supposed to have a Mustang?
Mercedes,
thank you. But they show him like a dad car, essentially.
And they're all acting like it's this really nice car. And he's like, no. He literally says, this says, look what I kept in the divorce.
Yeah. And Lauren goes, you're supposed to be able to make this work. The Neal Caffrey I wrote about in Quantico would have been able to make it work.
Yes.
And, okay. So he makes it work by going and finding Mozzie, who's sleeping off his hangover on Neal's couch. He goes, gets Mozzie, wakes him up. And he's like, hey, we need to go find a car. And Mozzie's like, oh, let me get my Slim Jim. And Neal goes, we can't steal it.
Yes.
And Mozzie goes, sure, we can't steal it. And then they go and steal a limo.
Yeah, they proceed to steal a limo.
I understand Neal is like, oh, we can't just illegally take a car off the street where somebody's going to notice that it's missing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I understand the difference he's implying here.
Yes.
But they do go and steal a limo. They just use their words instead of a Slim Jim.
They steal it with their words.
They steal it with their charisma.
Yes. They passed a charisma check.
Because they go to, like, I guess it's a limo place.
It's a cleaning service. It's a limo cleaning service.
Is that what it is?
I think, yeah, because they're, like, cleaning the limo.
Either way, they go up. They pretend to be FBI agents.
They do. Neal literally flashes his consultant badge, and it says,
"Oh,
look,
nice."
It says FBI." He literally says, it says FBI.
He's so funny.
Neal. I love him so much.
So I guess he's not impersonating an FBI agent. He's being fully honest. It does say FBI.
It does say FBI.
But they pretend like somebody did a lot of cocaine in the back.
And there's gunshot residue.
And there's gunshot residue. It's really funny. And they use that to be like, oh, we need to take this limo back to evidence.
Yes.
And the guy eventually lets him. But it makes me laugh because Neal goes, we can't steal it. And then they go and steal it.
It's really good. I know we've already mentioned forging bonds a lot in this episode, but I have to say there's like a cute little, as soon as the guy gives in, Neal says to Mozzie, Griggs, give him a receipt. And I love it because they do the same thing. It's like a little sort of callback to their past, but we don't know it yet because they used to like run this very similar con where they would like steal something from like a mail carrier and be like, give him a receipt so that he can pick it up from evidence in a few days.
Yeah.
And it's just like a cute thing where like Neal and Mozzie were falling into their old con that they used to run in a way.
Right. But they get their limo. And it's cute because in the next scene, Peter and Jones are in the van and such.
Mm-hmm.
And the limo pulls up. Jones says something along the lines of, guess he made it work.
Yes. I guess he made it work.
Mozzie gets out to let Alicia, Lauren, and Neal out of the car.
Mm-hmm.
And Jones is like, who is that? Is that one of our guys? And earlier when Mozzie first showed up at Neal's apartment, he was pretending to be a man named Mr. Haversham.
Dante Haversham is the very obviously fake alias that he gave.
And when Peter sees him helping them out of the limo there, he's like, oh, that's Mr. Haversham. He's a good man.
Good man, yes.
And I think it's really cute that Peter is immediately on board with Mozzie being part of this.
Yeah, he doesn't question it. He's just like, yeah, that's Haversham. He's a good man.
Yep.
It's cute.
But they go in, they talk with Ames. Ames is a freak. We haven't talked about him much, but he's a major sleazeball.
He is.
I need that to be clear.
Ames is a freak.
He is a little clever.
A little, I guess.
Because I do like the bit where they're looking for stolen artifacts, and Ames is claiming that artifacts he has on display are actually replicas.
Yes.
And Neal is able to recognize that they're not replicas. They are the real thing.
Yes. He also has this moment where he, like, tries to test Neal's, like, knowledge of the history and the artifacts by, like, giving out some bullshit, incorrect fact. And Neal just says, shame you didn't have a better history teacher.
Being very, snarky.
Yes. I love that line from Neal. Alicia panics when she realizes that the artifacts are real, which I don't understand why she panics so hard at this moment. But as soon as she does, like, she's realizes that
Alicia's
they're the real
not kept
thing.
her cool a single time in this
Not
whole
at
episode.
all. Not even a little bit. She just immediately, like, freaks out. And then Lauren is like, can we maybe just move this along?
Right. Lauren has, like, a briefcase allegedly full of money.
Yes.
She sets it down and opens it and, like, starts trying to negotiate, and Ames's henchmen pull guns.
Yes. Because Alicia is so uncool. They're like, nah, this is a setup.
And it's really good because they pull guns, so Lauren, like, flips open the secret compartment in the briefcase and pulls out her gun.
Mm-hmm.
And Ames says something about, like, you guys are FBI.
Yes.
And Neal's holding his hands up and goes, actually, I'm just a consultant.
Yeah. I'm just a consultant. She's with the FBI.
Yeah.
Totally throws Lauren right under the bus. And then
and she gets him back.
Yes. She's, like, egging the guy on and says, shoot him, then I'll have you on murder, too.
So they're both throwing each other under the bus. Neal just takes it a little more personally.
He really does. He really does. Because Ames runs, and as they're, like, running after him, Neal is like, I know you were bluffing. You were bluffing, right? You were bluffing.
Right. But Ames runs, and Peter runs after him.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fun because Ames starts shooting at Peter, and Peter takes cover. And Peter's, like, trying to call for backup, but the backup's all helping Lauren and Neal.
Yes.
And It shows Mozzie drinking a glass of champagne with Chinese takeout.
Yes.
He's like listening to classical music. The man's having the time of his life.
He's sitting in the limo, drinking his champagne, eating his Chinese takeout. He's like so good.
And then he sees Ames running and shooting at Peter, and he sees Peter dive behind a wall. And Mozzie's sick of it immediately, puts the car in drive and runs over Ames.
Just fully just hits him. And Peter is somehow fine with it.
Yeah, Peter's stuck behind the wall, hears the thud, gets up, sees Ames on the ground under the limo. Peter goes up to the window and Mozzie rolls it down and goes, "I was never here."
Yeah.
And Peter just taps on the hood and lets Mozzie leave.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, this is fine.
He's like, sure, the hit and run was fine. It stopped the guy that was shooting at me.
The hit and run and the DUI because you're fully driving with a glass of champagne.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, like an open beverage, something like that.
Yeah.
There's something about having like an open drink.
Yes. An open alcoholic drink.
Yeah. And so it's all very funny. I don't know what Ames thought. I guess like it saved Ames from being killed because Peter was going to shoot him.
I guess.
But anyway, it's a happy ending all around because Ames
is.
gets arrested. Alicia gets arrested.
Yes.
Neal like skips past Peter basically, like going, "Guess you get to go home now," and just keeps going.
Yeah.
Who knows what Neal's doing?
Going to find Mozzie.
I guess.
I want to know if they actually give the limo back.
I know. I was like, they gotta go return the limo. That now has Chinese food and champagne from Mozzie running a guy over. Also, it has whatever impact from hitting somebody. Right. I know Mozzie wasn't going that fast. He wasn't that far away. He basically just like knocks Ames over.
Yeah, he like we don't see it happen, but he probably just like bumps him enough to make him fall down and hit his head or something.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Just enough to disorient him a little bit. But yeah, they got a limo to return. And Peter gets to go home.
Yeah. There's a line from Peter, because Elizabeth is like thanking him for doing this, and he's like, "Well, really it's thanks to you. If you hadn't given me that nudge." And she's like, "Yeah, just a little like love tap." And then Peter's like, "Actually, it was more like a left hook. Like you punched me into doing this case."
Which is fair. She did come in hot with a plan.
She sure did. She meant business.
She's like, "So here's what's happened and here's what you're gonna do."
Yes, you're gonna fix it. You're gonna take care of it because I say so. Now do it.
But it's very cute. It's a very cute ending.
It is.
Want to do our rapid fire?
I do. I'm literally going through and like whiting out everything that I haven't talked about yet so that I can see my rapid fire.
Okay. You want to start then?
Sure. I like Neal's line when he like notices that John doesn't have any splash burns, and before he like talks to Peter about it, he says, "Before I say anything, what's the statute of limitations?" And Peter just cuts him off. He's like, "I don't care. Just tell me what you're gonna tell me."
It's so good. I love Neal trying to be like, "I won't get in trouble for this, right?" And Peter being like, "There's bigger things to deal with than you and your past crimes that I know you committed."
Yes. Fully knows.
Before John actually arrives to turn himself in, Neal's like flipping through the case, and he says something about how there's like a lot of gold stolen, and he goes like, "A lot of money's a lot of motive."
Oh yeah, that's a good line. When they are out to dinner together and Peter's like Peter's talking about how like Dana crying makes him really uncomfortable, and he's like, "I try to be a good person," and Neal says, you have your moments."
Just wiggling his way under Peter's skin while Peter's down.
Mm-hmm.
When they go to Alicia's office, Neal sits at like a random table to take cover for a second.
Yes.
And he takes a flower out of like a vase.
Yes.
And goes over to Alicia's desk with it. I'm guessing as like his cover that he was leaving a flower on her desk or something.
Yeah, so that if anyone like saw him like sitting there, they'd be like, what is he doing there? And then they would see the flower and be like, oh, cute.
Yeah, it loses a lot of its cover as soon as he sits at the desk for more than 2 seconds and also starts opening her drawers. But I like that there's at least a pretense that he had a plan for like a story if anybody approached him.
I think it works because if anybody like looked for just a second and then was curious about it, they would see the flower. But if anybody like saw him sitting there and then watched like, what is this guy doing? It all falls apart.
Yeah. Yep. There's a lot in this episode where if anybody gives a single moment of thought to what Neal's doing, it all falls apart.
Yes. I feel like that could be said for a lot of episodes.
At least sometimes it feels like Neal's being truly clever. A lot of this just feels like people aren't paying attention.
That's true. That's very fair. When Peter's talking to Dana and she just starts like crying and says that it's not okay. And he's like, yes, it is. This is the good news part.
Right. The good news that John met somebody for drinks. That sent Dana into an absolute tailspin.
That's the good news.
He's trying.
He's trying. Oh, Peter. He's trying.
Oh, Peter. I just have PJ supremacy continues because they never let Elizabeth wear comfortable clothing. And because Dana's in a bathrobe the entire time, they let Elizabeth be in pajamas basically the whole episode as well.
Yes, instead of like in business attire, perfectly done up.
Right. So I love her being able to be comfy.
Yes, very cute. My last point is Neal knew that Mozzie was coming because he called Mozzie and asked him to come over. So when Peter showed up, why didn't he text Mozzie and be like, don't come, don't, Peter's here?
That's fair. Yeah. I don't know. That's a good question.
Right? Also, I like how when he opens the door fully thinking that it's Mozzie and he goes, hey, Mom, my man. So not smooth. Not smooth at all, Neal.
Yeah.
August.
Rainy.
We made a podcast.
We made a podcast in absolute fucking record time.
Should I give us our outro?
Yeah.
You can follow us on Instagram, X, Blue Sky, and TikTok at Alleged Details, or on Tumblr and YouTube at All the Alleged Details. If you want to support our show, have ad-free episodes, early access to episodes, and bonus content, check out our Patreon at patreon.com/All the Alleged Details. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, August, I think we actually do have something there now that people can check out.
We will by the time this is posted, because I might have forgotten.
Our theme song is titled Allegedly and was written for us by Babydollbucky, and our artwork was made for us by Cheyenne Couture. You can find links to their info on our Tumblr.
There is one more thing I want to add about our Patreon.
Yes.
Is that I am editing the podcast to play over the actual episodes, and those will take a minute because it's tedious.
Right.
And so if you're listening to this episode, they're probably not up yet. When I do have one finished, I will talk about it.
I like that. I'm very much looking forward to seeing this and seeing like how often the scene can just like play at normal speed and how often you have to like speed it up or slow it down.
What I've edited so far, it's rarely. We're so good at this, but as long as everybody's having fun and they can continue having fun with us, if they've made it this far, they can keep having fun with us next week when we talk about the portrait.
Yes, the portrait.
Ooh, very good episode.
It is. It's fun.
Lots of silliness to be had.
I like the portrait a lot.
Yeah.
Well, this was fun, August.
Yeah, it's been so much fun. And I don't know. I've backed myself into a weird corner. I just want to be like, bye.
I guess we'll allegedly see you next week.
Yeah.